jail for them. Told me you up. First time I seen 100 bands, yeah, I grew up. Ooh, on the couches with my shoe up. And we was getting that record label money before they knew us. And we were blowing your budget in the club to the booth up. If your dog fall in your ball hog and get your whole crew up. Ooh, I'm with right now, I got you. Right now, nothing. Need a Uber right now. Right now, need crew love right now. Cause we two up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. First I pull up.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Oakland Raiders. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Denver Broncos and the Oakland Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
2 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They're led out back out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them.
On first down, Carr. And he's got his man on the out route. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 5 catches, 53 yards, and a touchdown.
And I'd certainly expect them to use him quite a bit because he runs excellent routes, has good hands, and knows how to get open.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, here's Carr. And right away, he lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And Denver getting set to take the field. On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
A second down throw for Brissett. He's to the 10. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And the Raiders pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And I guess we're back to square one. A rocky start here. A turnover followed by a turnover.
Not exactly what we expected going into the game, but I always wonder about the nerves and people starting, the emotions of the game. Sometimes it takes a little while for that to play out and for them to settle in. Let's hope that that's taken care of now.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
Get down. 185.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Call it a gain of 4. Leaves him with options here on second and just a yard. And the offensive starters here for the Raiders.
One of the things I like to do when I'm scouting players is talk to those who knew him before. And I ended up finding out that Amari Cooper has been like a professional route runner since the time he was 6 or 7 years old. Has always taken the game seriously, has always worked on his craft, and you see evidence of that each and every week on an NFL field. Couple that with his athletic ability, that's one big reason he's finding himself open in the NFL.
And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. Defensively, we check the starters now for Denver. They really played well in that win last week against Miami.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
So after the defense gets you the ball on a takeaway and a fumble recovery of their own, you've got to reward them, don't you? You've got to stay out on the field, give them a chance to rest, and how about doing it the way they did it? Running the football and picking it up on 3rd down.
Yeah, would not have wanted to go 3 and out. They avoid that right there.
Yeah, they avoided the glares as they went back to the bench, didn't they?
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Even though he's a 4th rounder, I think he might have a chance to play and prove that, hey, I could have been taken higher in that draft.
And we've seen so many times now, guys who go lower in the draft, undrafted free agents that become big-time players, Pro Bowl players. So you never know. 4th round pick has a chance to be a really good player.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, it all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
And defensively, a dime look here. 6 DBs on 3rd and 12.
No surprise at all.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they got across the 50 last time but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Brissett now on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Here we go. What?
On third down, Brissett. It's got a man. It's Corey Coleman. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 24. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And down he'll go at the 25. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And they'll run it here. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
The Broncos going dime. 2 extra defensive backs for 3rd down.
Playing pass all the way.
Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving.
False start, offense.
That's on the big guard, Gabe Jackson. So a false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, it's Carr. Open man is Switzer, complete. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Here we go. 1-9.
Second down, Brissett. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Play action now. Brissett. He's going to loft one. Deep left side here. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And the offense with a new set of downs. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
To throw on 3rd down. Carr. And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. James has got it, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding, offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Obi Melifonwu. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
So out come the Raiders. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to face a third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Cooper's got it. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Cooper's first catch, and good for a first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So each team with a fumble in what was a rather sloppy first quarter of play. 0-0 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. Runs through the contact. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Santos with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. This one taken from the 7. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From the gun, here's Brissett. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's 3rd and long for Brissett. And this is going to be incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have chance to affect the pass.
This will be fielded at the 17. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. A good balance attack for that last touchdown drive they had. Now it's time to see if they can do that again.
It really becomes a tale of two play callers, doesn't it? The offensive guy, he's in sync. Everything's working pretty well. For the defensive
what's going on the defensive side?
That's a tough one because he's prepped all week as well, and he can't get a bead on exactly what they're doing right now. What he needs is one of his guys just to make a big play and disrupt things.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Carr will try it again on 2nd down. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Todd Davis. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Gun now for Carr. And he fakes it. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The man who won a Super Bowl MVP award across the bay in Santa Clara, Von Miller. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
Yeah, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. That's pulled in at the 32. 12 yards on the return that time, and the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretary's lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
From the shotgun, it's Brissett. It's complete to Chris Conley. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Brissett to throw on 1st. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And now whistles and a flag. And I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
1st down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go!
They go play action here on 1st down. This is caught, and he doesn't quite make it. They do stop him, but he gets it all the way down to the 1. He got 29 yards that time.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll go with the keeper. And no signal, but I don't think he got the surge behind center. No, he's going to be kept out of the end zone. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down.
Oh, yeah, good surge defensively. Sometimes you can just tell by the way a quarterback lines his feet up behind center. He's going to try and sneak it in. And they catch him here and stop him for no gain.
He's going to get it running right. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Royce Freeman, his second touchdown on the season. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. And, Charles, when you catch that toss going right or left, really, but right in this instance, do you go straight for the pylon? Is that where you're going?
Well, typically you want to try and maneuver people a little bit so you have some space to get to the pylon. So I want to make sure I try and move them a little bit to the inside, and in this case to the left, so I can get to the right side and get to that pylon and wink at it as I go by.
McManus's point after is good, and we are tied at 7. That time a 6-play drive, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. So we're right back where we started. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Sua Craven's up to make the stop.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest game, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. And if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Up from the secondary to make the tackle, Jalen Ramsey. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
Just a yard on the gain there, and that leaves him with 14 yards still to go on third down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. The Raiders on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Here's Carr to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. So the Broncos coming out now. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to float this one deep. And got his man complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. They give him a gain of 37.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 43. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Flashy little move, but unable to reach the 40. It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait in, enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Out of the gun, Brissett. He'll air this one toward Coleman. And this is taken in at the 5. And they do get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A gain of 39 that time.
All the skills were on display on that big-time play. How about him blasting off the line of scrimmage, deep downfield, sells the post pattern in a big way. And that's really pretty easy to do because all defenders are taught. Break it off towards the corner. Really nicely thrown ball. Awesome completion.
So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time.
Come on, let's go! White 90!
Brissett now. Flush to his right. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
To throw is Brissett. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Khalil Mack in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
The Broncos on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for 3rd and goal.
Let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
This is 3rd and goal. Brissett throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. So on fourth down, on comes Brandon McManus and the field goal unit for the Broncos. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And McManus able to put it through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. Now the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And a lot of times you talk about establishing the ground game. Probably something they need to do more of here, losing in the second quarter.
When you're riding your best horse, you've got to lather him up. The best running backs I've ever talked to, they've all said the exact same thing to me. I'll even break a good sweat until I get to 20 carries.
You're full of good wisdom. Let's see if they can get him into the game more now. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Carr again here on 2nd and 10. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And that will knock things up here late in the first half. Well, maybe a nice psychological boost there just to get back to even with that field goal as we head towards half.
Coaching 101. Play it like it's 0-0 on the scoreboard. Well, in this case, it's level, right? Same score each side. Just start over. Now you've got the second half to play.
So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports halftime report. Time for a look around the NFL here in week 3 of the new year. We'll get started over at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. And it's the Saints who are out in front. Alvin Kamara, over 100 yards on the afternoon thus far with a touchdown run as well. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Lions. 2 touchdown passes there for the former MVP, Matt Ryan. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. And they were winners in their ball game as they were able to handle the visiting New York Jets. Teddy Bridgewater, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected, all tied through one half of play. For the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. An update from around the league as our first one comes from New Orleans. It's the Chargers out to an early lead. Nick Foles, a single touchdown pass to this point in that one. Corey Coleman now gears up to help lead this offense again. Third quarter starts with a run by Freeman. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a third and about 9 to go.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
Brissett from the gun on third. And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
First down, Brissett. Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A good pickup there of 20 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 42-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
This is pro size on the carry. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone.
Come on, let's go!
A first down throw for Brissett. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38! Flex round! Flex round!
Throwing again, Brissett on 2nd and 10. And here is a leaping catch. He pulled it in. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here.
Let's go! What? 90! What? 90! Ohio! 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 Flex round! Flex round!
He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Brissett sets to throw it, and he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Corey Coleman, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, and the Broncos have broken the tie. That's one of those long drives where not only do you score, but you really tire out the defense, too.
That's a great point, because now they've been on the field for a long time. Them going to the bench, trying to make adjustments, trying to figure things out, but they'll do so fatigued.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. Extra point from McManus is good, and that makes it a 17-10 score. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
On second down, here's Carr. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. A very good move, but for a short gain out near the 32. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Raiders on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And he fields it clean. It's a net of 40 there, punt of 48, and a return of 8. And out will come the offense as they take over. Corey Coleman now, he gears up to help lead this offense again. Previous series, definitely a focal point. 3 catches, the touchdown grab. As a DB, or former DB, is there a number of catches on a drive you're like, oh, he got the best of us?
I'm not sure there's a number, but there's a great feel. And what he did on the last drive, yeah.
Especially with a touchdown.
Yes.
You're never happy.
You're exactly right. The way he capped it off, so you feel that at the sideline, and now you're looking at your buddies and saying, okay, what are we going to do to take things away from him? Because I'm not sure the other guys can make those sort of plays. So let's make sure that we don't let him get going again.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. It was Maurice Hurst who got him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Come on, let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38! Flex round!
Brissett on 3rd and 2. And the third down pass falls incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Evades him at the 20, and he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Completes it right side to Cooper. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And an alley to run. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right at him, and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
And they'll run it here. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing his car on 3rd down. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
And he'll go on the ground. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run.
Back now in the East Bay. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th. The Raiders on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 7. On play action. Now Carr. Oh, no, he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, fourth quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the air.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking.
Do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from. You have to take a few chances as well.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. First down, but this one winds up.
More downs to play with.
On 2nd down, Brissett again. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 7 yards on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. I'm guessing this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock.
Bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Play fake, Brissett. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And a nice pick up there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. McManus now for the extra point. McManus's point after is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
And he will find his man on the outside. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Raiders on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 5. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll bring up 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Carr, got to have this one. And this is caught. Amari Cooper. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Carr to throw on second down. Bryant with a catch right side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. Carr now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. On first down, Carr. Open man is Uzama. And he'll get it down here to the 43. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Now Carr throwing on second down. This one caught left side by Cooper. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Carr now on first down. Over the middle, Amari Cooper. It's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Amari Cooper, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders are back within a score.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know.
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. I don't want to say that they're completely against the wall here, Charles, but all of a sudden, with the run that they've been on the other sideline, this is down to a 3-point game. They got to be careful.
Not much space from their back to the wall, though. So you're exactly right. They've got to be careful here. But this is where the value of note-taking and recall comes into play. What was working earlier? Why was it working? Can you get those types of matchups again? And can you run those plays that'll get you a little bit more breathing room and a little bit of space?
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be taken down right around the 27. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go. Grand 38.
Freeman. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Broncos on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 8.
Let's go. White, 90. White, 90. Flex round. Flex round.
Brissett. Flushed out, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Here's Marquette King now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Derek Carr getting set and ready to go again on offense here. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another fourth quarter comeback?
It's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be second down. And the spike comes now with just under 40 ticks left. So a 3rd and 9 and 6 defensive backs out there in the dime.
Patrolling the passing lanes.
He'll look to throw. He'll get this one to Switzer. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down. And 26 seconds now as the spike comes in. Back to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. And he'll spike it here with 13 seconds showing on the clock. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Back to throw. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. Brandon Marshall, the linebacker, able to make the play defensively. For a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any fourth down stop is a big momentum play.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Broncos, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.